Fifth grade lesson 2.9 is problem solving with division. As you know, the last lesson of each chapter is just practicing the skill that you learned in a problem solving sort of way. So here we go. Our essential question is, how can the strategy draw a diagram help you solve a division problem? Let's unlock the problem. Sean and his family chartered a fishing boat for the day. Sean caught a blue marlin and an amberjack. The weight of the blue marlin was 12 times as great as the weight of the amberjack. The combined weight of both fish was 273 pounds. How much did each fish weigh? Well, first, what do I need to find? I need to know how much each fish weighed. How much fish weighed? Each fish, but what information do I need to use? I need to know that Sean caught a total of 273 pounds of fish, and the weight of the blue marlin. Sean caught a blue marlin and an amberjack. The weight of the blue marlin was 12 times as great as the weight of the amberjack, so 12 times greater. I can use this strategy. I can draw a picture or model it, diagram. I have they have it over here, our diagram for us. So let's complete that diagram. I will draw one box to show the weight of the amberjack right here. And then I will draw a bar of 12 boxes of the same size, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, to represent the weight of the blue marlin. And then I can divide the total weight of all of them by the total number of boxes. So we have a total of 12, and one more is 13. That gives us 273 pounds. So I would take that 273 pounds and divide it by 13, because I have 12 times the amount of the amberjack plus the one amberjack, right? So 273 divided by 13. Let's go ahead and do that calculation. They started it off for us here. 13 times what number gets me close to 27? 13 times 2 is 26. We subtract for leftover. Bring down the 3. 13 times what number gets me 13? Ooh, 13 times 1 does that. That's easy. With no remainder. So 21. Each of these is 21. And on and on and on. Write each quotient in each box and multiply it by 12 to find the weight of the blue marlin. So the amberjack weighed 21 pounds. That one was easy. And then we multiply that 21 times 12 to find how much the marlin weighed. 21 times 12. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Add those together. 2, 4 plus 1 is 5, and 2. 252 pounds. And just as a quick check, 252 plus 21 better equal 273, and it will. 2 with 1 is 3, 5 and 2 is 7 with the 2 there. So we're all good. So we go back. We did this in 4th grade a little bit. It's kind of setting that diagram up this way. And so we're bringing that skill back to visualize it. As you get into the older grades, you'll start just creating a formula to solve for that and use algebra for that. But for now, we're just creating that diagram. Okay, let's practice another one. Jason, Marie, and Dana went fishing. Dana caught a red snapper. Jason caught a tuna with a weight of 3 times as great as the weight of the red snapper. Murray caught a sailfish with the weight 12 times as great as the weight of the red snapper. If the combined weight of the 3 fish was 208 pounds, how much did the tuna weigh? Okay, we want to know how much the tuna weighed. I'm just going to put tuna, question mark. How much did the tuna weigh? What information do I need? I know I need the red snapper weight. And then that compared to the tuna. How will I use this information? I'm going to draw that diagram. That helps me a lot. So I'm going to start with the red snapper. We have whatever the red snapper is, we'll call that RS. That is the one that Dana caught. Dana. Then Jason caught a tuna that weighed 3 times the weight of the red snapper. So that's the red snapper's weight. So 3 of those is the tuna that Jason caught. And then it continues, more information. Murray caught a sailfish, and that had a weight 12 times as great as the weight of the red snapper. So I'm going to do a size red snapper, and 12 of those, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is the sailfish that Murray caught. I'll put M for Murray. Okay, all together, when you add all of them up, we know that they added up to 208 pounds. Okay, let's count up how many total there were red snapper sized. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, let's start here. We know that's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So if I had 16 fish and the whole thing, the whole weight of them all is 208, let's divide 208 into the 16 fish sizes, and that is going to give us what the red snapper was. 208 divided by 16. 16 times what number gives me 2? That's already over, so that's a 0. Then go on to the next one. 16 times what number gives me 20? Only 1 will do that. Only 1 16 gives me close to that without going over. When I subtract, I have to borrow on that one. I get 4. And 16 times what number gets me 48? Well, this is almost 20, so 20, 40, twice. I don't think 3 times. That might be too high, but I'm going to experiment with 3 times. 16 times 3. 3 times 6 is 18, and 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. Oh, it is exactly 3 times. I get 48 when I win a chicken dinner. Okay, we have just found out that the red snapper is 13. That means that the tuna is 3 times that amount, and the sailfish is 12 times that amount. Just drawing that line just so I don't have to write 13 over and over again. The question was, how much does the tuna weigh? So we can answer that now. We know that it's 3 times the amount of the red snapper. So we'll do 13 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 1 is 3. And I get 39 pounds. How can I check if my answer is correct? If I wanted to make sure that all of these were 13, that I did this right, I can do the 13. We know that 13 times 3 is 39, so I'm going to put that up here. We know that 13 once is 13. Let me just get this 13 times 12. That's 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 1 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3, 1 times 1 is 1. And add the 156, and altogether I should end up with the 208 if I did my calculation correct. 9 plus 6 is 15, 16, 17, 18, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the 2, and I do. So there is a check. So I can multiply all of them, then add to 208. That was my reasoning on how I could make sure I did this calculation correctly. I think we can just get away with one more practice on this one, and then you're probably fine to do it on your own. Paula caught a tarpon, I guess that's some sort of fish, with a weight that was 10 times as great as the weight of a permit fish she caught. The total weight of the 2 fish was 132 pounds. How much did each fish weigh? First, let's draw 1 box to represent the weight of the permit fish and 10 boxes to represent the weight of the tarpon. So that tarpon was the bigger one. It was 10 times greater than the permit one. We don't know what either of them are, so we'll start with the permit one. I'll put a P up here. And then we know that the tarpon one is 10 times that. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tarpon. For a total of 10 and 1 more makes 11. When you added all of those together, the weight was 132 pounds. So if I multiply, or if I divide the 132 pounds into 11 fish, the 10 plus one more is 11, I'll find out what each of these ends up being, how those are split equally. 11 times what number gives me 1? Nothing. So I go on to the next number. 11 times what number? Make sure I'm above this 3 over here. 11 times what number gives me 13? Just a 111 does that. Oopsie. 111 does that. 3 minus 1 is 2. 11 times what number gives me 22? 11 times 2 does that. So 12 is what I get. That means that each of these boxes is 12. So the permit fish, this one, weighed 12 pounds. And the tarpon fish, this one, weighs how many? Well, I need to do the 12 times 10, which is 120. Just put that 0 on the end, right? 120 pounds. If you are understanding this just fine and you're ready to tackle these using this method, go ahead. You can go on Think Central and do that. If you want another practice one, I'll do this adjustment with you. What if the weight of the tarpon was 11 times the weight of the permit fish and the total weight of the two fish was 132 pounds? How much would each fish weigh? I have the tarpon fish at 11 times, so now this would be 11 instead of 10. And I have the permit fish, so you'd have 11 and one more is 12. And I have the weight at 132. That's a 1. And 12 times 1 gives me 12. So the permit fish would weigh 11 pounds, and the tarpon would be 11 times 11 this time, because there was 11 times that amount. So 11 times 11, you might know that one already. 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1, and 1 times 1 is 1, and I get 121 pounds. In case you need it, I'll do this last one with you. John caught 4 fish that weighed a total of 252 pounds. 252 pounds for all of those fish. The kingfish weighed twice as much as the amberjack, and the white marlin weighed twice as much as the kingfish. Oh, and there's more. Okay. And the weight of the tarpon was 5 times the weight of the amberjack. I got to find out which one's the smallest one. The kingfish was twice as much as amberjack, so amberjack is smaller. The white marlin weighed twice as much as the kingfish. Okay, so amberjack is still smaller. And the weight of the tarpon was 5 times the weight of the amberjack. Amberjack is still smaller. So he's my one little box. Amberjack. Now I'll use that amberjack information to fill in the rest of my diagram. It's a good thing I'm doing a diagram on this one. The kingfish weighed twice as much as the amberjack. So I need 2 of these for the kingfish. This is the kingfish. Okay. Then what else do I have here? What else did they throw at me? And the white marlin weighed twice as much as the kingfish. The kingfish is 2 of these, so twice as much for the white marlin is going to be 4 of those, right? So we have 2, 3, 4 for the white marlin. Then we have the tarpon fish. That's 5 times the weight of the amberjack. Amberjack was this little box, so I need 5 of those. Whew. It just took me a little bit to figure out the boxes. Okay, this is the tarpon. All right, now that I have the boxes, though, I can just count these up and then do my calculations. 1, 2, well, I'll start here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 individually. So I'm going to do 252 divided by 12. 12 times what number gets me 2? Nothing. So go to the next one. 12 times what number here gets me 25? 12 times 2 does that. That gives me 24. I get 1 left over. 12 times what number gets me 12? 12 times 1 does that. So each of these is going to be 21. Now that I know each of these is 21, all across there and all across there, I can do the calculations for all of them. The amberjack, that's an easy one. That one's 21 pounds. The kingfish, That one is going to be 21 times 2. And we're going to get 2 times 2 is 4, 42 pounds. What about the white marlin? The marlin is 21 times 4 for that one. We get 1 times 4 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, so that one's 84 pounds. And finally, the tarpon is 21 times 5 for that one. 21, I just need room here. 21 times 5, 1 times 5 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10. That one is 105. And thankfully, the diagram helped us out. That's a tough one. There was a lot of information, so notice how I had to like back up and really compare all of them to figure out which was the smallest of them all, so I had my starting point. So you may find yourself having to do that. Good challenge though, nice puzzle to work out. You have the strategy to do it, just go ahead and puzzle it through. Good luck.